Hang on to them hats and glasses, 'cause this here's the wildest ride in the wilderness.
Hey Disney fans, come join the fun. Corey and Lawrence, the magic's begun. From the parks to the stories we adore, let's dive into the magic. There's so much more. It's the DIZPod, where dreams come true. With Corey and Lawrence, we'll explore with you. We entertain and teach every step of the way. With stories and facts, we brighten your day. From Disney history to tips and tricks, we've got the magic mix that always clicks. It's the DIZPod, where dreams come true. With Corey and Lawrence, we'll explore with you. Feel the magic, the joy and the cheer. Together we'll make memories year after year. The DIZPod, the DIZPod, let's all sing along. With Corey and Lawrence, the magic's never gone. Bringing joy to your day in every way. In the DIZPod, where the magic's here to stay.
To a member of the Disney Podcast family. Head over to Disney Podcast Family on Instagram to see all the latest posts for this show and links to other great Disney podcasts.
Oh, I think you might be muted, Corey.
I mean, there's no better way to start the year than the season. Welcome to season 3, everyone. First podcast, the first DIZPod of 2025, season 1, episode. So if it's season 3, do we say episode 78 or 9, or do we say episode 1?
I'm counting
Season 3,
both.
episode 1.
Yeah, I'm counting
Yeah.
both, so you can go with however you want. Starting at 1 is easier, so you could just say season 3, episode 1.
I'm gonna do that. I'm sticking with that. I am
Yes,
sticking with that.
that is easier. Hello, everybody.
Are we debuting a brand new shirt for 2025?
I don't have a tag on this one, so I kind of feel like I haven't worn this one before, but or that I have worn it before, but I don't remember wearing it on the show. Somebody could tell me. This is my I like the shirt. It's got all the park icons on it and some other stuff, so it's a pretty cool shirt. It's a good park hopping shirt if I ever do the 4-park challenge again.
Yeah, I like it. It stands out. I don't think I've seen it before. I'm very, very visual. I haven't seen that
got,
one, unless you just haven't been to the...
Spaceship Earth up here. You got the castle right there.
Wow, you have the Mickey Sorcerer hat
Yeah.
over the anterior left shoulder.
Yeah, there's a
That's
lot
kind of
there.
crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. I like
What'd you
that.
say?
Nostalgia.
Over what shoulder? Look, there's Dumbo.
Anterior left shoulder. Sorry, I'm still in work mode. Anterior, the front of the shoulder.
Okay.
For all of those scoring at home. Yes. Yes. So it's cold here. I'm sporting my Figment sweater again, which we could have been matchy today, but
Could have.
it may not be.
I thought about it. Oh, don't say it couldn't. It may not be cold here. Let me tell you.
Well, I mean, in the house, we don't. We fight putting the heat on. I don't think we've put the heat on, so it's throw on some socks and some pants, and I got pants on right now. It's the first DIZPod maybe ever with pants. Normally I use. Yeah, I got to clarify that. I got to clarify that nobody ever sees me from the waist up, so I could do it in boxers, but I don't. So normally
the show
I
is
wear
before
shorts.
10 p.m. Just remember that.
That's true. But it's the podcast, so we can get a little riskier there, So I'm wearing this. I may take it off at some point, but started out a little chilly.
Yeah.
We do this live because we do it for all of you. Welcome in chat, everyone. I hope that we put a smile on your face today, and we equally appreciate all of you that watch us on all the other platforms after this is live. We're talking iHeartRadio. We're talking we still on iHeartRadio?
Yes, we are on iHeartRadio, Amazon, Spotify, Apple Podcasts is our biggest platform for
So cool.
listens. Yep.
So cool to say we're on Apple Podcasts. Makes you feel like you're somebody. Boy,
Yes.
for Christmas I picked up a actually it's actually after Christmas because I liked what Jacob had. I have a glass. No, I got the aluminum. He has a glass mouse pad. So the mouse glides nicely. Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's like moving air. So
Wow.
I kind of had to replicate that to the best of my ability. I got an aluminum one and a brand new mouse, so it just glides. But I just put my hand on it. It's like ice. It's that cold.
Yeah.
It's cold. So listen, man, it's cold right now here. I know other people are colder in other parts of the region, the world, all that stuff. But it still is cold here. I actually wore a sweatshirt over my. I wore my Star Tours zip up today for the second half of the day, or late morning, early afternoon, because it was so chilly out here. I think it was only in the 40s, but it was cold. It was enough to put something on for sure. And I'm dreading tomorrow a little bit, but I don't think it's gonna be. They said wind chill could be 25 at Magic Kingdom tomorrow night, later in the
Oh,
evening.
that's going to be an interesting night. Yeah, it's 32 here right now in North Carolina, and um, our local news or weather station told us that we could see an inch of snow sleet on
Ooh,
Friday night, Saturday morning. So we will see.
wow. So just a warning. Why don't everyone just stay home tomorrow? I'll handle Magic Kingdom on my own, and we'll keep the crowds down.
There
We'll
you
do
go.
that.
There you go.
Ah. So Lawrence, it's the new year. And oh, by the way, let's just say this is how leave comments if you're listening to this later. Anyone in chat, did you love the new theme song? That's the new theme song and opening, video opening, audio opening. We love it. Um, so let us know if you like it. It's pretty cool. As soon as I heard it, and I'm sure as soon as Lawrence heard it, we were like, that's the new theme.
Yeah.
That's got to be the new theme.
Yeah.
Easily.
I was very excited when I heard about it. That is courtesy of Beach Fox Life, one of our viewers
Shout out.
in chat. Did a great job with that. Put that together. Yeah, as soon as I started talking with him, got that together for us pretty quickly. So yeah, I'm excited. I never thought I would have a theme song, let alone one with my name in it. But
Right?
it
Corey and
is,
Lawrence.
yes.
It's a DIZPod.
But it's exciting. So we've freshened up things for the new year, for the new season of the DIZPod here. So a new opening, our own theme song. We've also, I did not tell Corey this, but I have also freshened up all of the breaking news and this week in the park segments. So those are freshened up as well as the outro to the show also. So
Ooh, very nice.
I
Very
have,
nice. Before we get Oh, go ahead. Did you finish?
I was gonna say I've been very busy yesterday working on the show. I may have been up until 4 o'clock in the morning. Just saying.
Now that's dedication. That's what I'm talking about. I can't wait to see these things live along with all of you. Shirley's having a good time in chat. She says cookies to the left, cookies to the right. That's right. That was amazing when that happened. And Shirley was there, the ground floor of that when I made those statements. Cookies to the left, cookies to the right.
Mhm.
But the last thing I want to say before we get deep into the show is it is the new year. Wow, what's your stance on New Year's resolutions? Because I hate them. I like them in the sense that it's good for people to think about things and set a goal that they most likely won't keep. So I don't like that. But I have a long list of things that I want to adhere to, and I feel deep down that I feel sincere about them. Not just like it dawned on me the other day. It kind of did. I think it's more of a coincidence that it's the timing of the year. Maybe 10% in the back of my mind said, okay, this is the time to really make some changes. Do you have anything? Do you like to keep them? What about all of you in chat? What do you think? Do you have resolutions? What's going on with that?
So I can tell you, I used to be one for New Year's resolutions. I don't know when that stopped, but I haven't really um, done that. Although I did have one, and I think it was really to focus um, on putting more of an effort into editing. If we want to talk about like the show
So
and
you
things
were
like
half butting it.
yeah,
Keep it clean.
exactly, exactly. Up until now, I was just throwing it at the wall, see what sticks. Um, but I think with the new opening and stuff like that, just trying to keep it fresh. So, um, someone asked, Christian asked, "Where did you find this background?" Um, I googled it. You can find it actually comes directly from Disney. You can find that directly from Disney. Do you know where that's from, Corey?
I'm studying it, and I was going to tell you I have no idea where that's from. So what I'm going to do is I am going to give an answer where when people play me in Trivial Pursuit, I always answer things like that. I go, wow, I have no idea. But and then I say it and it's the answer.
Oh,
I'm gonna
okay.
go with grounds that I have yet to step on, but will soon be stepping on it multiple times in a short period of time and staying there, which is the Polynesian Tower.
Uh, that's wrong.
Oh, oh, what? I don't even know. Like even a second chance.
I'm gonna ask my guest who's off camera right now if he knows. Do you know? Oh, okay.
Let me see the Verbo.
No.
Okay,
No. No. My understanding is that is the Incredibles.
The Incredibles.
Yeah. Like a
So
realistic
like,
version of the Incredibles.
oh, okay, all right. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. When I can't recognize something on Disney property, it makes me go, hmm. Things that make you
Yes.
go, hmm. Purple Pleasure says realistic goals, not resolutions. That's exactly what I was getting to. Like, just make some realistic goals.
Yeah. So
And I think that's
the
better.
Contemporary Hotel really is a good guess because the Contemporary Hotel is themed to the Incredibles. So that is actually a very good guess.
Yeah, but there's no part of the contemporary that looks remotely
No.
like that.
No. No.
Uh,
Could you
so,
imagine those floor to ceiling windows watching the fireworks?
man, man,
Yeah.
interesting. So, yeah. So, you don't have anything for me? It's really all health based. Got to be 53. Time to kind of do a self check again. I've been one of those ones that are guilty of not really going to the doctors much lately and all that stuff. So I'm lining up all kinds of appointments. Hopefully
Mhm.
everything, normal checkups and all that look good, and then we can just move on. So, but gotta sleep more. I think we gotta sleep more. Just grab another hour or two. I think that's important, especially at our age.
I
My
won't
age, anyway.
disagree with you, as I told you I was up until 4 a.m.
Yeah, and it has to be more consistent, right? So I've been thinking about this for a while, and it's like, okay, how can I do that? Because I'm at Disney Wednesday nights super late. I'm at Disney super late Saturday nights. So I think we can even it out and find a medium of if you go to bed about 10:30 and you get up about what 6:30. What is that? Is that 7 hours? 10:30, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 8 hours.
Mm.
So that's kind of what you need. So Tammy and I are going to try to make an effort. She's like, "You're not going to put yourself to bed at that time." I'm like, "No, we're both going to try." Because my theory is, or thoughts is, what do we all do after like 10 o'clock? A lot of us. You're just flipping channels. You're waiting to go to bed. You're just waiting. So why don't you just go and
Hmm.
get up earlier and get more accomplished? So that is, what did Purple Pleasure call it? Not a resolution, but a goal, a realistic goal.
Yep.
So I mentioned that too because it ties into live streams on Wednesday nights. When Magic's open till 11, I'm going to try to do my best to kind of cut out late night shopping and all that. Like out the door, around 11. I mean, we could be on a ride finishing up, but it's going to be a lot quicker. And it's okay because we have the post show coming up, and that's late for a lot
True.
of people watching too.
That's true.
So we
Yep.
can just jump to that. So I'm going to try to do that, and I hope Theo's sitting down because here's the other one that goes into it. To eat healthier. I already do better than I feel like the average American, but I want to tweak it more. So, we have a ton of Disney snacks stacked up in our kitchen all the time,
Mm.
and I feel like it's time to wipe that out. I'm making a rule, and Tammy agrees, and you're all going to watch this. I'm putting myself on, could I say blast? Am I putting myself on blast now? I'm putting myself on notice, and all you're going to call me out. But I cannot, we'll just use magic as an example. We no longer leave with snacks. What is bought in Disney is getting eaten in Disney. And
Oh
that's it.
wow.
Now and then. Yeah. Yeah. That's what we're going to try to do.
Okay.
So
I'll help
that
you as much as I can.
okay. I mean, I might show you all everything in the confectionery and be like, now can we that means no more popcorn. We might have to write in a couple of loopholes, like now and then we get a popcorn, because we can eat that over time. But yeah. So I'm sure there'll be tiny workarounds, but we're not leaving with a stock anymore. And Shirley's a bad influence. She'll be like, let's go to Summer House and get 17 cookies.
So,
But no. So now that could be different. If we're over at Summer House, we're not there, but one cookie. One. That's it. All right, I'm done. That's our New Year's opening. I'm going to give you the floor, man.
Very cool. So I will make a big announcement here. I am gonna announce I have an addiction,
Oh, I think I'm to blame for this.
and it's right here.
Ta-da! Main Street popcorn.
Let me tell you, we tried it. Nick, we were all there. Nick, Christina, Alexander, Catherine. Although I don't think Catherine had any. Did you have Catherine? And there was a cast member. I actually have his name for a cast compliment next week in the show. We're going to be doing some cast compliments later on in the show. If you folks would all help us out, that would be great. But there was a great cast member who made a great suggestion on what to get, and he suggested the butter popcorn, white and milk chocolate drizzle, and Oreo, and peanut M&Ms, and it was phenomenal. So I went back on Saturday and got the same thing, except I got regular M&Ms instead of peanut. Really, really good. I could see why you love that popcorn. So.
Oh, unbelievable. And that's a nice combo. So is it a mix of sweet and savory? Is that what really
Yes.
makes it good for you?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Might have to try that. The Lawrence mix.
Yes, exactly.
That's the Lawrence mix.
So as we get into this first show, the season premiere, very cool. The trip we had was phenomenal. I really had a good time. We had a good time at the Verbo. And one of the things that we love in the live streams and in real life is going with people that have never been on a certain ride or never seen a certain show because they've always skipped it or whatever the case is. Well, this time I got to go with somebody who has not been to the parks. It is an amazing thing to be able to share something like your Disney passion with someone, and especially somebody close to you. So it was my brother Alexander who got to go to Disney for the first time. So he is our guest today. So I'm going to bring him on now. And this is the first time I really had, because I don't really count Catherine as a guest, but the first time I've had a guest in studio.
Ah, there's the
There he
man,
is.
Alexander, everybody. I had the chance to meet him. Just another fine young gentleman as part of Lawrence's family. Honored to meet him. Good guy. Can't wait to hang out with him more next time he comes. Glad he had an amazing time. You're all going to get to hear that. And I'll just say, Lawrence, it can't be understated how much fun, joy, it is to enjoy Disney through someone else's eyes for the first time. I don't care if I get on with a stranger or you're in line with them. You talk with
Yeah.
them about it, and you have to talk with them when the ride is done because
Yeah.
you want to hear their feedback. So can't
That's
be
right.
understated.
This is my younger brother Alexander. He's right there. There. He is in the same room. He doesn't. He's not at home and has a twin room of mine. He's actually next to me. So I thought we would ask Alexander on the show to see kind of his take on going to Disney as an adult, but going for the first time. You know, Catherine got to experience that. Jay got to experience that as a 19-year-old, I think it was. So, what did you think of excuse me, Disney? We were there for 8 days essentially. So kind of give us your idea of what the trip was like for you.
Yeah, I mean, you just got choked up thinking about how awesome it was for me. I appreciate that, but it was incredible. Disney is, I mean, it's better than what I thought it was gonna be. Like I knew it was gonna be good, but I didn't understand that you would just kind of get that feeling back of when you're like a kid growing up on whatever Disney movies you loved, and I immediately got that from the first day in the park. So it was just it was a different feeling every day because there was something to love in every single park. But yeah, I told somebody yesterday, I was like, I would already go back in a heartbeat because it is just, it's a very good time. And there's so many things to do and you're never really bored. I was never ready to go home. I was just like, all right, like what time do the parks close? That's fine with me. 1:00, stay open to 1. We go till 3. What else can we do? Because there's just so many things that are enjoyable there.
That's awesome.
So, you know, we got there, we drove, he lives close to me. So we drove there. He was actually going to drive with Jay and they were going to drive on their own. We decided we were going to fly. And then I looked at the cost of flights and then decided, okay, let's drive with them. So we rented a minivan and drove all together, and that adds to the trip, right? Because you're then doing that road trip experience. And I think the last time that we really took a road trip together was, I don't know, 2010, maybe 2009, something like that. So that added to the fun. We get to the Verbo, we're hanging out. Nick and Christina got there. We picked them up from the airport. Hung out that night. We kind of explored the Verbo a little bit. There were certainly some issues with the Verbo. If it was my house, I would be redoing that a little bit. For example, the pool table was not impressive. While it was a pool table and it was blue and it did match the decor of the room, it was worn, like worn. You could see the break points because the felt had worn all the way through to the wood that was underneath it. So certainly some things to work on, but all in all, excuse me, the experience was there. And so then our first day was Magic Kingdom because we were trying to get there for all the Christmas stuff. Yeah. And so we got there as the parade was just getting into Town Square Theater, it was right at Town Square Theater when we got in. And it was the Christmas parade. And so, you know, Alexander's first parade is the Christmas parade, which is huge. And you're getting to see that without having to pay for the party. But we got in a little bit later, so we did get to see the 3:00 parade. However, the 3:00 parade was a little bit shortened because the rain was coming, so they were trying to beat the rain. So they did kind of a shortened version of it, but still great to see that parade starting with Mickey and Minnie, ending with Santa Claus. the reindeer in the middle, the toy soldiers there. So it was just a really, really cool experience. Um, and of course, what do you think I had him do as his first ride, Corey, in Magic Kingdom?
Ooh. Oh. Well, this could go two ways. No, I'm not gonna commit to that one. I was gonna say Buzz Lightyear, but uh, yeah, but a realistic answer. What would I have? Oh boy, I don't know. I'm just gonna go with Haunted.
That would be a good one. That was not the answer though. Um, so we did. Do you remember?
Small World.
We started out with
Ah,
Small World. Yeah, yeah.
okay,
You know, I
another
figured
classic.
it's a classic ride. So we did Small World. We actually there's some good guesses in there. Jungle Cruise. Did we do Jungle Cruise?
I don't think so.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did Jungle
I
Cruise
already forgot the
late
names.
that night. Yeah. We did do Pirates. We did not do TTA.
You
I know. I know. We didn't do
know, it
TTA.
probably took me like 5 trips at least to Magic Kingdom before I went on People Mover.
Well, we only spent 1 day at Magic. We actually spent 2 days at Epcot during this trip. Only 1 day at Magic. And so, with as many rides as there are to do in Magic, it's tough to do them all. Do you remember any of the other rides we did?
In Magic?
Yeah.
Ooh, he's on the spot.
Yeah, I was gonna say I remember the show we did right after Small World, but then we did another ride, and that was we did Tron at the end of the night,
Yeah.
and that's in Magic. But
Yep.
we also did. Oh, I found that every single ride that has water in it, that people throw every single coin they own into all the waters. I didn't understand that until I got to like 9 different rides and saw them, but
Yeah.
I can't remember the other ride we did.
So we did Catherine's right. We did Jingle Cruise, it was at that point. But we also did Tron, as he mentioned. Tron was great because we did get to do it at night.
That was
And
really good.
it was the last ride of the night. So I think we got there at like maybe 10:35 or so. So our wait wasn't too crazy at all. Maybe it
Oh.
was a half hour.
I just thought of one. The hotel. We did the scary hotel. What's that called?
Oh, Tower of Terror?
No,
Oh, Haunted Mansion.
Haunted Mansion.
Yeah. Yeah, we did Haunted
I
Mansion.
said scary hotel.
It's all good.
I like that. I like that. He's wet behind the ears still.
That's right. That's
Still a rookie.
right. And then we hit a little bit from the rain right after we got off of Haunted. The sky opened up. Well, while we were on Haunted, the sky opened up, so we went right across to there's this Haunted.
They should rename it Scary Hotel.
Scary Hotel. New name coming soon. So we did Columbia Harbor House and had some food there. Then we also got to do Tiana's.
Yeah.
So we did Tiana's that night as well. And that was a lot of fun. That one,
How wet did you get?
not really wet. I mean,
I was in the back row, so
Yeah.
maybe that saved me a little bit because the two in front of us definitely got.
Yeah, if you don't want to get wet, go in the back.
Yeah. But that's a good ride.
That's a good ride. The drop was great. One thing that did hurt us a little bit, though, the wait through the queue was a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And so that stopped us from being able to get onto Big Thunder Mountain. So we tried to do Big Thunder this trip, and we weren't able to. And that's going to hurt us a little bit because Big Thunder is now closed for a year, they're saying, but I think it's going to be like 14 months, honestly. But that'll just be something for Alexander to look forward to doing when it does open back up. So that day, what do you think what was what was the most fun thing you did at Magic that day?
I would I would say that my favorite part was probably the fireworks, only because like that view that's pretty much every intro to like every Disney movie ever.
That's right.
So when you finally see that for the first time, that's a pretty cool like moment, I think. Um and I didn't know how the fireworks show really would look like. Like I
Yeah.
don't think I'd really seen it too many times on the podcast where I would remember. And so when I saw it for the first time and I saw how they made the castle look during the show and everything, that was super cool. So loved that. That was probably my favorite part.
And again, he saw the Christmas fireworks. So it's going to be great to be able to go back and see Happily Ever After, which is their traditional fireworks show. So that was a pretty good day at Magic. Chat and Corey, do you remember your first ride at Magic Kingdom? I mean,
Ooh.
and see, this is the thing, right? Like those of us that have gone as adults for the first time, it's easier for us to remember that. You know, people that have been going since the 70s, it's going to be hard for you to remember unless it's just ingrained in your brain as to what that first ride is. Um, I will always remember Catherine J and Finley's first ride at any Disney park was Spaceship Earth. You know, I'll always remember that. I have no idea what my first ride was.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I don't know if Tammy would be able to recall that, but I'll have to ask her later if she recalls what we first went on over there. I can't even. I could guess something, but I can't give a legit guess
Yeah.
of what we went on. I really can't.
Yeah. So that's
I mean, especially it's clouded, right? Because I've been 1,000 times,
right.
so it gets even difficult. If I had 4 or 5 trips under my belt, maybe, but yeah, I can't remember. But any of them are great to start with.
That's true. That's true. So we went home that day. The next day was the 30th. We did Animal Kingdom. What did we do there? We did Lion Festival of the Lion King. Here's an interesting one for you though that day. So we had been watching, the park. In case you haven't been watching social media, the parks are very busy for New Year's. I don't know if you know this. So we
Man,
so we go, um, and I'm trying to find things to do. Right, we've got to take advantage of the day. Certain things I wanted to do, certain things I wanted Alexander to experience with, because he's there for the first time. And we did get Dole Whip there, so that's where you have your first Dole Whip. And you got the float.
Yeah, I got the Fanta Orange float, and it was very good.
Yeah,
very good.
Fanta Orange.
Fine choice. Fine choice.
Sorry, Dole Whip Dave, he didn't start out with the traditional pineapple, but we did Festival of the Lion King. That was the first thing we did there. Figured we would start with that. And then see what the safari did. Well, it was running about 90 minutes to 2 hours for the whole day while I was watching it. And of course, it closes at like 4:45, right? So trying to figure out, can we do it? I would hate to go to Animal Kingdom, take Alexander to Animal Kingdom for the first time and not be able to do the ride. So us here on Living in Diz, trust the lines, not the signs, right? So it had gone down to like 50 minutes, I think. So I said, okay, well, let me go see. So I left them all over by Tamu Tamu, and I went over to the safari. As I'm walking over to the safari, there are cast members lined up telling you, hey, ride's closing at 4:45. And at this point, it was like 4:38 or something like that. rides closing at 4:45, rides closing, and I'm like, if they're saying that, I don't think it's that busy. So let's take a chance. And I call everybody and I get them to run over. I'm sorry, we don't run in Disney parks. Fast, brisk walk. And so we got over there, got everybody through. And as I'm walking, I'm like, yeah, there's no way this is 45 minutes. I think it ended up being 15 or so.
Yeah.
I think it was about
1-5, not 5-0.
1-5, not 5-0. And it was great. And then as we got closer, since we had a stroller, they pulled us over to the side so that they could take the stroller and then pushed us by another couple of people. So we got to experience the safari. We saw the hind legs of a lion, but that was really it. They were kind of behind the rocks there. But we didn't see any giraffes. That was very weird. I've never been on the safari and not seen any giraffes, but they weren't out. But of course, if you go at the very end of the day, for them, it can be a very different experience than going in the morning. They always say if you go in the morning, that's when the animals are more active.
Makes sense.
So, next time we go, maybe we'll try and hit it early in the daytime. And then at night, see, Neil says he went on Sunday. The wait said 45 minutes, and he was on in 8 minutes. Yeah, trust the lines, not the signs. So
there's a T-shirt coming out for that.
Love it. So we did one of the most fun things we did was Everest. Again, if the safari was that long and then the safari closed, can you imagine how long Everest was? So Everest had been running 90 minutes to about 2 hours all day long. We get over there and it said 80 minutes. So there were 4 of us. And we said, okay, we're going to do a single rider. No problem. So we were ready to do single rider. We get up there maybe in 30 minutes, I think. Yeah. And I think you got on first, like row 4, let's just say. And then I got on to row 8, but I was on with somebody who had went through excuse me, she was a single rider, but she went on through the regular line. So I asked her if she would mind switching with Alexander. So Alexander and I got to ride together on his first Everest ride. So what did you think of Everest?
That was a good one. I was confused when we were at the top. I was like, I don't know where this is going, but I'm here. I was like, Lawrence wouldn't have got on it if it just didn't work. So so it was a good ride, and I would definitely do that one again. But I didn't see that coming when you go backwards and then it switches to a different track. I thought that was really cool. So I like that one a lot. And then we did another ride after that, right?
Yes. Then we went to Pandora. We did Navi River Journey.
Oh yeah. That was good. Oh, and we did Soarin'.
That's at Epcot.
Just kidding. Not yet.
Not yet. Coming up. So when we did Everest, we get to the top, like he said, and he says, so we're going to go backwards? I said, well, we can't go forwards. So that was pretty enjoyable. Again, to experience something like that with somebody for the first time is very cool. And then we did Navi River Journey. We wanted to do Flight of Passage. I thought that Alexander would really enjoy Flight of Passage. Flight of Passage was one of those where trust the lines, not the signs. Well, they equaled each other because the line said it was 2 hours at 8 o'clock when the park closed, and believe me, it was every bit of 2 hours.
Yeah.
So
I think when we got there, when we first walked through initially, it was like 180 minutes, so 3 hours.
Yeah.
We were like, we'll come back later, and it just never really slowed down.
Never slowed down. I actually sent Corey a picture or a video of the line because the line for Flight of Passage was back over the bridge leading back to Festival of the Lion King Theater.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was rough. When I saw those people there, I was like, wait, there's no way that line is for Flight of Passage. Yeah, that line was for Flight of Passage. It stayed that way all day long. So again, had a great day there. Weather was good there. I don't even think I was wearing a sweater that day
That
or a
might have been
sweatshirt.
the best weather day I think that we had.
Yeah, I think so. And then,
Try the Navi pretzel. That thing
oh
was massive,
yes,
but well worth it. Definitely recommend the Navi pretzel.
yeah. Have you done the pretzel over there in Pandora?
I didn't know a Navi pretzel existed.
The thing is like the size of your head. It is gigantic.
Like
But
they
very,
pulled
very
it
good.
from one of those like wooden woven figures that stand around Pandora.
Yeah,
Just pull a
yeah,
piece off.
that's right. But it's very good. The sauce that they use is very good. We did eat at Satuli Canteen. Did all of us eat there?
Yeah, we all ate
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Satuli Canteen. Great, great
Mhm.
food there.
I had the shrimp. Shrimp was
What did
had the
Alexander
shrimp.
think about that?
the
What'd you think
shrimp.
of
I had the shrimp, and it was very, very good. I just wanted more of them, but no, I thought the food was great, and it didn't take long at all. I think we ordered maybe like 20, maybe 15 minutes, and by the time we got there, it was already ready. So thought it was nice. We just got off of a
It's
ride, so it was perfect time.
it's arguably the best quick serve in all of Walt Disney World. I mean, if
Yeah.
you're looking for something healthier option and all that, it's really good. It's hard to not eat there when we're there for quick service.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. I
It's that good.
definitely would go back and try a different meal next time, or get the same thing because it was good. So
Yeah, yeah. The food there is, and I hadn't really eaten there. Not that adventurous. Um, but if you get past the decor of the food, you think about it like Festival of the Arts. You're going to find food there that um, looks very different, very very colorful. Not your normal, grilled chicken and rice.
yeah,
But once you get past that, the taste is amazing. So definitely worth a try there. Um, and so the next day was New Year's Eve. We knew that we were going to be there late, so we didn't get an early start to the day. I don't remember what time we got there. Oh, we did get there before.
we got there around 2:30, maybe 3.
Okay. So when we get there, uh, first ride that I had him do in Epcot. What do you guys think was the first ride I had Alexander do in Epcot?
Spaceship Earth.
Spaceship Earth, no question. So I think that might have been a 30-minute wait, which on a day like New Year's Eve, you're just going to take whatever the park gives you. And so it was a 30-minute wait, gets on Spaceship Earth. Finley wanted to ride with him, so Finley rode with him. That day we did whatever really we could.
Yeah,
So we did Turtle Talk with Crush, which was 5 minutes. We
which I
did,
thought was great.
yeah. I mean, the idea of the improv,
Yeah,
and we'll talk about Frozen, the Frozen sing along, in our when we go on January 1st to Hollywood. The idea, I thought that he would enjoy that. And so what else did we do? Oh, we did Moana. We did the Journey of Water.
also really
Um,
cool.
Very cool experience. What else did we do? Oh, we did Living with the Land, which was still glimmering greenhouse.
Yep.
So you got to experience that.
We
And
walked through the aquarium a little bit before talking to Crush.
yeah, did a little bit of the walkthrough at the aquarium. We did want to go on Soarin', but we did not because the wait was so long. So we went and did Awesome Planet.
Yeah.
And then we did the World Showcase, I think right after that. Can't remember. any of the rides that we did. And then of course it's New Year's Eve. I mean,
Yeah.
place is going to be packed. You know it. We got into position for Luminous. He got to see Luminous for the first time. What do you think of Luminous?
Just a really amazing setup, and the whole narration, the music of everything is just very well put together. I don't know how long they've been doing it until I saw Lawrence's sweatshirt. Was it? Is it 60 years now, or how many years was it?
1 year.
It's only been on for 1 year.
1 year.
Okay, well I misread the sweatshirt then, but I mean you would think they've been doing it forever because it's very well done. So loved Luminous.
And Alexander is a musician. He actually plays the trumpet. So of course him and Neil could have had plenty to talk about, not only being Mets fans but also trumpet players. So
Yeah.
I gave Alexander a little bit of the background story of Luminous, but then didn't go into a lot of the story. And so he was able to get it from that because he's a musician and kind of gets the whole idea of the use of music throughout the show, the use of music in the narration, which is really where I think Luminous really succeeds. And then, so I was streaming at that point, trying to hold on to any signal that I could get. I spoke to other people that were streaming at the park that day, and it was rough for them as well. But we tried to hold on to everything that we could. You
were streaming on 40 kilobytes. I mean,
Yeah,
you were
oh
pulling
my
it off on 40 kilobytes.
Yeah, so if anybody doesn't know, let me tell you, you're supposed to be at about 13,000 kilobytes when you're streaming, and there were times
when
where
you're doing 4K.
Yeah, and there were times where I was pulling 40 or so, 38, somewhere in that.
You and I were texting back and forth, right? You're like, I'm pulling 38. I'm like, it's looking pretty good at 38.
I don't know how.
But you really put the great effort in. You really put the great effort in, though. And I don't know if you needed me to give you, it was like Lawrence was trying to hold on to life. He was on his deathbed, and he just needed me to tell him it's okay to go. It's okay to go. So I let him know it's okay to cut the stream if you need to. It's okay. Go have some fun.
And so what I was trying to do was do about an hour in each of the countries and then bounce backwards. So we did an hour in Japan, we did an hour in Italy, and then I did about an hour in China. And that's when I just couldn't hold on to the signal anymore. So I ended the live stream, sent everybody over to Josh at Resort TV One, who was there, and I spoke to him, and he was having similar issues. He's not streaming in 4K, so it was probably a little bit easier for him. Sometimes when you're streaming in 4K, it does pull more data.
He can also pull down the quality of the stream too, which no one else can. So
that's right.
He's able to pull things off like that.
Yeah, I forgot about that. So
I'm handling all the Mets talk in the chat. You just keep talking.
Yeah, I see that. So I did end the stream a little bit early. I do apologize to all of you that were watching. But we were then able to go and eat. We ate at Connections. He had your favorite burger. I believe it's your favorite burger, the French Bistro.
Yeah. Asked the cast member what they recommended because I couldn't decide between that and the chicken sandwich, and they told me to go with the burger, and it did not disappoint. I thought it was a very, very good burger.
When I was there Saturday with you guys on Saturdays, that's exactly what I had. I have the French Bistro burger when there's no festival at Epcot. That's my go-to if I'm not eating over at Regal Eagle or Fish and Chips. Yep. So, yep, it's a good one.
Yeah. Then we left Connections, went to Port of Entry. I wanted to watch the fireworks from there because you can see all of the countries as they light up for their fireworks. So I thought that would be a good spot to watch them from. I don't know if streaming would have worked from there. So kind of glad that I wasn't at that point. Um, but we did get to watch from there and watch all the countries light up, counted down. And Catherine can tell us how early they got there. I don't think they got there. Maybe it was about 11:15. I don't think they really got into position very early. It might have been 11:15, and there was still some good amount of space left over. So I'm going to say this for everybody in every Facebook group that I've ever seen: the parks are busy for New Year's Eve, both Magic and Epcot. There's no question, and now Hollywood probably too, because Hollywood has its own midnight fireworks. However, the parks do not hit capacity at 9 a.m. So please stop spreading that rumor. That is not the case anymore. That has not been the case since before um, COVID. Okay, when reservations went into went into practice, that really took care of that problem. So they haven't been an issue. There hasn't been an issue getting into the parks for New Year's. And in fact, even annual pass holders were able to get into the parks last year at 1:30. There were still reservations available at 1:30 last year, um, New Year's Eve 2023. I don't have experience on this year, um, but there were still people coming in that night, right at like 10:30, 11 o'clock, just to see Epcot's fireworks. So don't feel that it is crazy. I will say this too. That was the first time that I experienced them letting guests out through Mexico. Have you ever seen that, Corey?
No, really? They let people out through Mexico?
Yeah.
Do you know what that
So
looks like back there? It looks like a construction site. There's nasty trailers back there and junk and all kinds of stuff. I've been back there. I hope they cleaned it up.
um and I what I remember from last year is that there's a wall of cast members, French, from Japan, from Mexico. They come out where, so whatever country they're in, whatever pavilion they're in, they come out and they go into the middle of the walkway. There's obviously tape down because Disney loves their tape. And then the cast members are standing there creating a wall. So one's facing this way and the other one's facing this way. And they go through the entire World Showcase, creating a wall so that so that they've basically created a two-way highway through that whole World Showcase. They do a phenomenal job of getting people out. Whoever is running that night needs to be in charge of running Magic Kingdom fireworks, because I'm telling you, they have it down to a science, and they were letting people out through Mexico. If you just needed to leave the park right after midnight, that's how you were getting out. So that was pretty cool to see, because it alleviated a lot of the problem. After, when did they get stuck at? I guess it was sometime that night.
Yeah, I think it was maybe right after New Year's had hit. Like once we
Maybe.
were switching between countries, they got stuck.
Yeah, sometime during the night, Catherine was stuck over in the UK for like 20 minutes. Just, it took her 20 minutes to move from one lamppost to the next lamppost. And so that was not,
That was while we're in Japan.
while we were in Japan, they were stuck up
Yeah.
there. So that was not good. But I think that issue was that they had not put those cast members in place yet. But again, a display like you've ever seen for New Year's? You ever
No.
seen anything like that?
No, I mean it is a very cool, just feeling for every different country. They're all celebrating, and I mean I commend the cast members, because all the people that they have to deal with walking through there, and the whole time they're just saying this way friends the entire time. I'm like, man, you guys have a lot of patience, because it's so packed in there. You're not going 2 feet without getting rubbed in the shoulder
Yeah.
by somebody. But it was just an amazing night. I mean, it got to 1 o'clock pretty quickly, I would say, because it was just very lively. So hard to tell time when you're having a good time.
That's true. That's true. So, as I said, we were trying to do an hour in each country, and then all of a sudden it was like 11 o'clock. I'm like, oh, we got to get
Yeah.
into position. So we went and
Yeah.
grabbed something to eat, got into position. And then after fireworks, since we were up in the front, I looked at Soren, and I think at that point it was 20 minutes. And I said, well, that's worth it. So we got to go do Soren, and that was a lot of fun because Catherine, Finley, and myself were the only ones in our group that had done Soren. So obviously Alexander, it's his first time. Jay had done Soren over California, but not Soren around the world. And then our friends Shantice and her kids had never done it. Even though Shantice lives there, she had never done Soren. So she got to experience that for the first time too. So we had a whole row, and the majority of the people were first timers. So what'd you think of Soren? Because that's not a typical ride, right? It's not a roller coaster.
Yeah.
It's not...
I mean, I thought it was a 10 out of 10. I've never been more confused than when I was at the beginning, because I was like, how are we moving but not moving? That didn't make any sense, but I thought the ride was incredible. I would do that again in a heartbeat. I definitely, the next time we go to Epcot, that'll be on the list. If we have extra free time at, the last 20 minutes, like it was such a quick, I don't even think we had to wait in line. I think we just
we went
basically.
Yeah, basically walked right on.
So yeah, that was a good one. And I mean, I'd love to see what the other fly-throughs look like too.
Yeah.
Like the one that Jay did.
So we did, when we got there, we were basically stopped right at the front. So we asked for the middle. So we had to wait a little bit to get into the middle, but certainly was worth it. I think we were in B2, B1. Might have been in B. Yeah, we were in B1.
Yeah.
So that was certainly worth it.
Yeah.
So then New Year's Day. So, leaving the park at whatever time we did, we get to oh, that's right. We hung out with Neil and the family on New Year's Eve for a good amount of time, and then New Year's Day as well. And we had...
Did Neil stay?
Oh yeah, Neil was there.
Really?
Yep.
Really?
Neil was hanging out. Neil and so I want to know, like, what because you and Alyssa had never done New Year's. You've been to Epcot, I don't even know how many times. You've been to every festival. You've been there for Christmas and Christmas Eve. What did you and Alyssa think of the park for New Year's? Would you do it again? I mean, you're from New York. Did you ever do Times Square? I've done it once. I'm good after that. So yeah, Neil, tell us what you thought of that. Corey, what's the biggest event that you've gone to for New Year's or New Year's Eve?
Universal Studios, and it's a dud.
Really?
Yeah, Universal doesn't do much of anything. I don't know why Universal drops the ball on that. It is, we have passes for it, so we can go, and we did one time, and it was very uneventful. They, Universal has a lot of, more adult type celebrations, right? I mean, they do Mardi Gras. They, it's geared more towards the older crowd. You would think they would just have a bash over there, and they don't do it. I don't know why. I mean, I could see them because they bring in, of course, Epcot brings in major artists, but they are all artists that have passed their time. But we enjoy it. Everybody has their time. Universal brings in artists that are a little more current. And so couldn't you see them bringing in, like, I don't even know. I don't know if they could bring in Snoop Dogg, but I'm just trying to think of, they could bring some people in and pull it off with the stage over there and just have a massive celebration. I don't know why Universal doesn't do it. By the way, the Mardi Gras schedule has been released for artists, and you're on it. Lawrence is coming.
I saw that. I didn't know I had a trip planned, but apparently I do. We'll talk about that when we do the news.
Yes.
I
But
was
guys like Jonas, Jonas, one of the Jonases is going
yeah.
to be there for one of the shows, So, and we've live streamed some, right? LL Cool J was there recently. I mean, yeah, he's past his time, but they just seem to get some pretty big names over there. I don't know
Right.
why Universal does that.
Yeah, that's weird to me. You would think it would be big for them.
And it would be a rival for Disney, right? Or do they just wave the white flag and just say, Epcot is so massive, we're not even going to bother?
Maybe that's it. I don't know. I wouldn't.
So for that matter, do you think, like, why doesn't Disney is Mardi Gras just too adult like? But Disney could family-fy it. Allison, put that in the dictionary, please. Family-fy. They could family-fy it, right? Couldn't you see a Mardi Gras parade down Main Street with Mickey and Minnie in their gold and purple and green, and they could do this.
They do participate in a parade outside of Disney for Mardi Gras. So why couldn't they do it inside the parks?
Yeah, they
There's a
could
way
do
to do
that.
that. There's a way to do that.
Listen, I can make more money for Disney. We make it a nighttime party, right? A month-long Mardi Gras party. There you
Yep.
go. Thank you, Josh. I'll take a cut of that, please.
um. Okay. Do you do it in Magic or do you do it in another park?
Great question. I don't. It wouldn't make sense to do it in Hollywood or Animal. I just see Main Street as being that kind of thing. That's where I would do that party because you need to do a parade and all that. So I would definitely do it in Magic. What about you?
Um. So Alexander said Hollywood. I thought Hollywood as well. Just because Hollywood
Really?
gives you, yeah, because it gives you a different vibe. You think about Jollywood Nights, right, compared to Mickey's Very Merry. So I think that's what's in my head. So it just gives you that more adult vibe, more kind of laid back Jollywood, compared to Very Merry. But I think you also could then jazz it up, and honestly, that's probably the right word because Hollywood feels more
Yeah,
jazzy to me than say Magic Kingdom.
Yeah. I mean, when you
because
walk
of
into
because
Hollywood, what era is it? What is it supposed to be?
the 40s big
It's supposed to
band,
be the
right?
40s,
So I
50s.
think it kind of matches a Mardi Gras vibe
Yeah.
just because it's been there forever. But I mean, you're right about the parades. There isn't like a real track for them to do the parade there, I guess. But I agree with both points, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lawrence kind of sold me on the Hollywood scene. They could change the music a little bit, or maybe not even much, right? Because it's still jazzy.
Mm-hmm.
New Orleans is full of jazz.
Yep.
Serve a few different Mardi Gras types of or Cajun dishes and desserts. We're on to something, Lawrence.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But we don't want to encourage more parties at night.
No.
It
uh,
messes with me.
Palm Bay says there'd be beads all over Epcot. Alcohol's is there already. So, it could be there too. I just don't know. Like, you can do a parade there. I mean, you could down World Showcase, but I don't think that would fit as well as doing it down Main
No.
Street or um,
And
just
we'll be live. We'll be live out at Universal doing the actual Mardi Gras parade a couple times.
oh,
We
good.
just decided Tammy pulled a huge bag of beads just the other day, and she's like, "I think I'm gonna get rid of these." And I'm like, "Yeah, just get rid of them." And as a matter of fact, no matter how many we catch when we're there, they're not coming home with us. It's like the Disney snacks. We're not taking them. We're
Good
just
for
gonna give them
you.
to somebody.
I think I still
Yeah.
have a bag of the beads that I caught last year. Let's see, I'm gonna test Corey's knowledge here or memory. What was special about Mardi Gras at Universal for last year for Living in Diz?
Living in Diz. What was special about Mardi Gras? I'm trying to think of anything that was different out of the ordinary. Um, I don't know. Like technology wise, I don't think anything was different. Um,
Mm?
Oh yeah, we did
Mhm.
something different then.
Yes.
We didn't. Oh, okay, okay. It's coming back to me now. Just like Celine Dion said, I got it. I got it. You and I, we that was the very first vertical stream for Living in Diz.
That's right.
And Lawrence and I did it beside on the side of the building of Transformers.
That's right. Yeah. So we
Because at
did.
first I was like, were you there with me?" And then I'm like, "Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, he was."
Yeah,
Yes.
it was the first time we did vertical and horizontal at the same time. So that was kind of cool. So we did that. Um, so yeah, we were at Hollywood for New Year's Day. And then Neil met us in the afternoon. We went and had food at commissary. Um, Alexander actually had your favorite, the buffalo chicken.
Yeah.
What'd you think of it?
Yeah, I would get it again. It was a good one.
As the kids say, fire, right? That's fire. It's so good. Jacob and I love it so much. We get 3. We order 3 orders, and
I see
we
why.
have a full sandwich, and we split one, and we split the fries.
You know what? I don't like steak fries actually, but I enjoyed those.
Really?
Weird
Okay. Well,
enough,
that goes a
yeah.
long way then.
Yeah,
Okay. What's your favorite kind of fry?
it's got to be a waffle. Chick-fil-A just does it right.
Really? All right.
Yeah.
Wow. Waffle fries. I haven't had waffle fries in a long time. But any fry, any potato. I like a potato any way you slice it
Hmm.
and cook it.
So
Yeah.
so Neil was there with the kids and Megan, and so we had a pretty big group. We knew that we wanted to do Muppets again because wasn't sure when the next time any of us were going to be there, and Muppets, while it doesn't have an official date, could be closing at some point. So wanted Alexander to experience that. Then we also did trying to think of some of the rides we did early. Star Tours. So we did Star Tours, got him on that. And let me tell you, I did Star Tours, and I think just the first part where Vader comes out, that was the only scene that I had
so good.
seen. The rest of them I had not seen. You go into.
Oh, I thought you blacked out or something. Oh, it's the only scene I saw.
What is
In the elevator?
no episode 1.
Phantom Menace.
Yeah. What the guy that nobody liked?
Kashyyyk? Did you go through Kashyyyk?
The guy that
Gunkin?
nobody liked.
Oh, Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah, Jar Jar
Oh,
Binks.
I like Jar Jar.
Yeah.
So you went to Naboo. You went to Naboo?
Yeah, and we're under the water and all that, and I'm like, this is
You
different.
nearly killed that
Oh,
poor
yeah, we
Gungan.
did.
I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
I had never experienced that.
Oh, that's my least favorite. It's my least favorite one.
It doesn't.
But it is cool, right? When the creature grabs the ship and he starts shaking
Yeah.
it back and forth.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. There's always a bigger fish.
I like when Darth grabs the ship and stops it
shakes you.
from, yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I enjoy that
Yeah.
a lot. Yeah.
Halt, he says.
So so then the cool thing about that night was obviously watching Ride Times all night or all day really before we even left the house and watching Ride Times. So what do? We play that park like a pro. So if you know there's 2 showings of Phantasmic, you can forget that first showing. You're not going to it. Don't go to it. You're going to the 9:30 showing because the park closes.
Yeah,
at
it's
9
null and
o'clock.
void. It doesn't even exist.
Doesn't exist.
Right? It doesn't even exist, people. Don't
No.
do it.
Don't
Okay,
do it.
some of you can do it so we can enjoy the fruits of the second one.
Right. So I knew we were going to the second one. That was a no doubter. And so then the other thing was, how do we play the time during the first show? So what we did, we all wanted to do. There were a couple rides we wanted to do when we left commissary. So we went to do Toy Story Mania, which when we left there, we'd walked through Galaxy's Edge. And then got to Toy Story Mania. And on the way to Toy Story Mania, it said it was 45. When we get to Toy Story Mania, it says it's 60. So I'm like, okay, well, it should be somewhere between 45 and 60. Um, again, Toy Story Mania, a very different attraction.
Mhm.
It's not a roller coaster. It's not a simulator like Star Tours. What'd you think of Toy Story Mania?
I thought it was a cool game. I think that even, I think it's meant for obviously kids that are under 14, 13, maybe to have the most fun. But for me, I had a lot of fun. I mean, I could see us going back again, especially when, my other brother wasn't sick or was sick for that day. So I could see all of us brothers and Jaden's and going back and getting competitive on a game like that because
Mm-hmm.
it was fun. Um, and I liked the walk up to the ride itself or to the game itself because I thought each room was cool and brought back memories from Toy Story that I forgot because some of the stuff that they had statues of or games of, I was like, oh, I actually had those as a kid. And I didn't really remember until I saw them. Like the Lincoln Logs, I didn't remember that I had them until I saw them. I was like, oh, yeah, I used to play with
The That's got to be one of the coolest cues, if not the
those.
coolest cue. Because you just again, it's that nostalgia thing, which I think Magic really has down to a science, is
Yeah.
to pull you back in. But that Toy Story cue is just
Yeah.
it pulls you in. Viewmaster, Lincoln Logs, Tinker Toys, Uno. I mean, just everything there.
Yeah.
Shirley says Team Jacob. So I was going to tell Alexander, all bets are off with my family. It is blood. We are out for blood. We want to take each other out. Forget about father and son. I don't care who you are. He doesn't care who I am. It's all for blood. But I usually win one game out of 25. So
Mhm.
now when he hits a little skid and he goes on in a slump for about 2 different attempts, I take advantage of it, but after that, he just wipes me out again and reminds me of where my place is.
Mm.
But
So
most of the chat takes Team Jacob though, because they know they like
they know.
winners.
So when we get out of Toy Story, I looked at the time, and apparently I was so focused that I passed Lucas, Robbie, and Megan by on the exit, and didn't even notice that they were calling out to me. They were on the ride in front of us, so they had waited for us when we got off the ride, and I walked right by them. So I'm gonna apologize to them on the show. I've already told Alyssa, but I just walked right by them. I was just so focused on what we were doing next, um, and so we had two groups with us, and so our friend Shantice and her kids wanted to do Rock and Roller Coaster. That was their priority, and Tower of Terror. So I said, okay, well, they're right next to each other. I said, go do single rider Rock and Roller Coaster and do Tower of Terror. So because we had Finley and Jay, we weren't going to concentrate on those. Our priorities were going to
Yeah.
be Rise of the Resistance, which again, for Alexander being his first time, I knew I had to get him on Rise of the Resistance.
Oh yes, oh yes. We would have ended the DIZPod for good if you didn't get him on that.
So I said, okay, we're gonna walk over there because right now, let's say it might have been like, so we went to do Mickey and Minnie's, which was 45 minutes. I said, I don't think it's gonna be 45 minutes because it was like 7:30, 7:40 or something like that at that time. So I said, there's no way it's gonna be that close to the 8 o'clock Fantasmic that Mickey and Minnie's is still 45. So we scurry over there, and sure enough, it is a walk on. Got in and out of there, Mickey and Minnie's. So Mickey and Minnie's was his first trackless ride. So what did you think of the whole trackless technology?
Oh, really cool. I mean, that was a good ride. I mean, that was the first ride I think that there was like or a setup room for the ride. Where you have the little short movie or short film first and then you go into the ride. I really like that. Then they did it again in another one. And then we'll get to those rides in the next days. But yeah, I thought that was a cool ride.
Yeah, so we did Mickey and Minnie's. Of course, I asked for I was going to ask for row 7, so that we could see more of Squid Neil and the trumpet, especially having a trumpet player with us. So they ended up giving us row 8, so that's fine, same car. So it was a walk on. So we get out of there, and now I'm like, oh, I've got a little bit of extra time.
Yeah.
So we're leaving Mickey and Minnie's. We're gonna hit Rise. because we're not going to miss that. That's going to be the one. So if it happens to be a long wait, we're at least hitting that. And especially because then Jay and Finley are all doing, the four of us are riding together, or the five of us are riding together. So we get on there, and we get there, and I'm like, okay, we might have to do single rider, but I want to experience it all together. And so let's just go. We're just gonna go through. Well, it was 25 minutes. And the only reason it was 25 minutes is because it takes you 25 minutes to walk through that long queue.
Yeah.
that is the longest queue, I'm telling you. I think that, and maybe Little Mermaid. Little Mermaid has a long queue for no reason also.
What does
So
Living in Diz, Little Mermaid, and Rise of the Resistance have in common
I
when you
don't
mix
know.
them all together? When you mix them all together,
I don't know.
you don't know, huh? You stumped, huh?
Yeah.
Living in Diz waited in line with the legendary Jodie Benson, the voice of Little Mermaid in Rise of the Resistance.
That's right. That's
And
right.
they cut the line. They cut her. They cut her. They took us and made her wait.
That's crazy.
Crazy, right? Yeah,
That's
I'll never
crazy.
forget that. She's a sweetheart.
So so we get on, it's essentially a walk on. Now, Rise is a long experience, right? You've got
Yeah.
the first the room where you're meeting Ray, then you have the transporter, then you get captured, then you have that part of the queue, then you have the interrogation cell, and then finally the actual ride. So it's a very long ride. So and you know what we didn't get, especially on his first time, is we didn't get the full experience. The cast members were kind of moving through it. They weren't really playing the part. So we missed out a little bit of that whole,
The
um,
bereavement,
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
the attitude.
Yeah. So like when we were waiting to go into our cell, I wanted to see if the cast member would play a little bit. So I was like, "Hey, does this room have a K cup? I really need a Keurig maker." And he said something, but it wasn't enough to remember. So
Oh, oh.
yeah, so they were just kind of moving through it. They weren't really playing along too much, but I was looking forward to that. So tell us
Yeah, that's
about
part of the whole thing.
exactly. So tell us about that experience, and then walking into the hangar with all the
Yeah.
stormtroopers.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was the first part just of flying through space to get through, to get captured, I thought was good. And then once we got off, the first cast member was playing into it. And because I wasn't really listening to everything he was saying because I was still just looking around. But then I like he said get out to everybody. He like said exit, but then he was like get out, and
Yeah.
and that caught me off guard. I didn't, that was funny to me. And then the room with all the stormtroopers, I wouldn't have noticed, but I think Catherine pointed out to me that and they subtly moved their heads, and I was like, I started paying attention. I thought that was pretty cool too, and so I really thought, like you guys were saying, that it would be, that kind of intenseness of the cast members in the next room. But I'm sure I'll go back to it another time, and it'll be that experience too. So I thought it was a good ride. I would definitely do it again. I thought, was that the ride where Kylo Ren puts the saber through the elevator door, right?
Yeah, through the
Yeah,
roof.
that's Rise. Okay.
Yeah.
So I thought that part was cool. Yeah, the whole thing was. I mean, I'm a big Star Wars person, so anything Star Wars related is gonna be good to
Yeah.
me. I thought that was a great ride.
I mean, when you went to the AT-AT room, don't you just kind of turn into a little kid if you weren't already? You're like, whoa,
Yeah.
those things are massive.
Mhm.
There's so much to talk about. I always tell people that is definitely not a ride or an attraction. It's an experience.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
my initial feeling when I got off that the first time was I looked up in the sky and I said, I really feel like I just came from there. I really
Yeah.
feel like I left Batu. I was up there and I dropped down via pod or whatever, escape pod. I really felt like that. It's crazy. So good.
Yeah.
And
That's a great
so
ride.
so then we left there and had enough time to do what? I wasn't sure, but you knew I was going to play that last Ask for Cash. So I said, we are going to
That's the
head.
LID way.
I said, we're going to head to Tower of Terror because I wanted Alexander to experience Tower of Terror. It's mom's favorite ride. She loves it, laughs through the whole thing. So I said, I want him to experience that. So uh Jay doesn't do Tower of Terror. Finley doesn't do it. So we were going to leave the two of them um, to do something on their own. And we were going to run over there. So Alexander and I left right away. And then Catherine caught up to us. I don't remember what the wait was. It might have been, let's just say, a half hour.
Yeah.
And it was maybe 10 minutes. So we were able to get on there, go through the pre-show, go through the ride, get off, and by the time we got off, it was 9:10. So got to experience Tower of Terror and then walk right over, since we're right there, walk right into the Hollywood Theater for Fantasmic. So what'd you think of Tower? Because again, very different. I'm kind of going with all the different rides. So very different ride. What'd you think of that?
Tower was the first one that got me. That I was afraid to see the picture afterwards. Because I didn't know. I like the what's the word for it? The unpredictability of it. The first part where it kind of brought us up real quick and then dropped us, I wasn't expecting that. And so that's what I liked about the ride. And then you go up to the top and they take your picture. I thought that was really cool. I kind of just waved by because I knew it wasn't going to go up anymore. But that was a really good ride. I mean, we went through it so quick. And then we were there was probably maybe an 8 or 9-year-old that was right behind us. And that was like their favorite ride ever.
Yeah.
They were talking about how they loved that one. So I was like, I can see why. But not being able to feel the chair under me was an experience that I was not expecting. So it'll be interesting to see how quickly I'm eager to get back on that one. But I did enjoy that.
Yeah, it's it was a great experience, and then we get to Fantasmic. Fantasmic was in B mode. Of course, Alexander wouldn't have realized that, but there was supposed to be a lot of fire, and you got none of the fire.
Wow.
And we got no dragon. For whatever reason, which is why they probably didn't give us any fire. But yeah, essentially they light up the whole lake in front of you on fire. So we didn't get that. But again, the way I look at it, for somebody who's new, just another reason to go back. You saw it in B mode. He also doesn't know, but he saw Rise in B mode also. No Kylo.
Oh, so you haven't even seen the best version of Rise yet.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? I'll say that even though they were in B, I would never have known watching them. I would have thought that was A. Like, I still thought that they were very good. Fantastic.
Still incredible.
Was really good. I thought that the storytelling through the water was such a great idea. And then, having the characters come out one by one and singing their song or doing their thing I thought it was one of the best things I watched at Disney was that show, and it was in B mode. So yeah, I can definitely be convinced to go back and wait for that 100 times.
Easily one of the best things Disney's ever done show-wise, I think, in parks.
Yeah. And so that's kind of where we left our trip. That was, and then we had a couple days where we just hung out kind of at the Verbo, and I took them to the world's largest McDonald's. So we did that, kind of just had a relaxing day. We went to Disney Springs for a little bit. We also went to Character Warehouse, picked up some stuff there. So that's kind of how we enjoyed our 2 days off, and then got ready for Saturdays, and we'll talk about Saturdays when we do inside the parks. But that was kind of our experience for Alexander's first trip through Friday.
Awesome. So glad to hear. Good job on the recap. So now you just got to go back and do some other things. You know what you missed doing with him in Hollywood? I'll throw a question to you. What's the one thing that he has to do next time he goes back? Has to do it. and maybe we have to be there with you. He's thinking.
There were a couple, like being a big Star Wars fan, I wanted him to meet Vader and Chewie, but we didn't get to do that. We also didn't have any dining, any sit down dinners this trip. So, and had we had one, my thought was 50s prime time.
Yes, thank you. That's what
Because-
I was at. You came to me. You came to me. 50s prime time. He needs to do 50s prime time. That there's nothing like it. It's
Yeah.
it's become a legendary classic on the channel.
I could not imagine our families, like Alexander, my family, Nick, Christina, and all of your family. And heck, let's add Alyssa and Neil into that mix. I mean, goodness, all of us at one table for 50s prime time. Get ready.
Guests
ready.
will leave around us wanting their money back.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
we'd be so annoying, and they would be mad, not even knowing why they're mad. They'll be mad because they didn't do their homework as to what goes down in 50s prime time. Do your
Yes.
homework, people, before you book 50s prime time. There should be a warning label on 50s prime time on that website on the screen. This is this particular experience. Beware. Mr. Teapot is here, says Neil. You know something? I'll give you a sneak preview. That is and will be in the long version of the documentary film.
That's very cool.
That just went in this weekend. So it will be in there.
Catherine mentioned a couple things in chat. Number one, we did not eat a Wookiee cookie, and Jay said he was going to eat a Wookiee cookie with Neil. So Jay definitely owes Neil a Wookiee cookie. And she also mentioned that I did not talk about Frozen. Let me tell you, the Frozen sing-along celebration, you've got to go see it. I don't care if you like the movies or not, which I don't know why you would not like those movies. They're great. But even if you don't, you got to go see this because, again, this goes back to what we talked about, Turtle Talk with Crush. It's improv. Like there's a story there, but the storytellers are always different. And in fact, this aria made two of the cast members break. In fact, at one point she says to Elsa, "Are you gonna?" Or she says to Eric or Sir Eric, "Do you think that she's gonna thank us?" Because I guess Elsa forgot to thank them for telling the story, and so then Elsa turns around and is like, "Oh yes, thank you," and you could see that she broke character when she did that. But she also made Sir Eric do this was the younger one, and he does this thing where he flops his arms back and forth around him. And she made him do it. She made him add in. She was like, "Your legs aren't moving. You need to add your legs in." And she made him add his legs in. And then she also made him spin around. And you could tell every time she added something, he was like, "Really? Are you serious?" But they were just so funny. And in fact, Alexander had never seen Frozen.
No, I'd never seen Frozen, and the show was so good that I was like, okay, well, I have to go see Frozen now, because I was like, is the movie about Anna? Like, I thought I didn't understand how the movie unfolded, so I went back and watched it. We watched it, I think, that night, or maybe the next night or something like that, and it was, I thought it was a really good movie too. So I haven't seen Frozen 2 yet, but I'm sure that being around Disney this much, I will see it very soon.
So Roderick wants to know, when do you think your next trip to Disney would be?
Whenever we plan it next. As soon as Lawrence lets me know, I'll try to make time to do it, because I had that much fun. We were there for 7 days, and you could have told me it was 2, because it felt like it was over that quick, but that's because there was never a time where I wasn't doing something. We had the quote unquote rest days, but even then we were finding stuff in Disney to do. So I can't wait to go back next. Maybe not tomorrow. I need to rest up and go back to work so I can buy some more merch the next time, because there was so much stuff I wanted to buy, and I was like, I bought a lot already. I was like, I gotta wait for the next trip to add on some more merch. But even what you're wearing now, Corey, that pullover is something that I very much want. So I told Lawrence I'm gonna have
thanks.
to get on the Epcot website and or Disney website and find that, because that looks great, especially around here. Chapel Hill is right around the corner. That's Chapel Hill's colors, so I love that pullover.
Yeah.
Bill
Yeah.
Belichick. Yes.
Yeah,
Is that official yet?
yeah, it's official.
It's official.
Yeah, it's official.
Wow. Wow.
It's a new day here.
That's a new day in Chapel Hill.
Crazy.
All right, so why don't we do this? Let's go to the news, and then we're gonna have a guest news anchor with us.
And before we do that, we can say, if you're looking for a home that offers the perfect blend of luxury, comfort, and convenience with Disney World in your backyard, Victor Naraki is a licensed realtor with Vision Home Real Estate LLC, and he is here to help you find the home of your dreams. With over 13 years of experience in the Disney area home market and a proven track record of success, Victor is the perfect partner to guide you through every step of the home buying process. So why wait? Visit celebratingflorida.com today to learn more about Victor's exclusive range of properties and schedule a viewing with Victor. Your dream home is just a click away.
All right, so let's go to the news. All right. That's us. Let me bring in my guest. Corey, why don't you go ahead and start with this slide
right.
while I bring him in?
Well, like I had previously mentioned, Universal Mardi Gras lineup was announced today for their 2025 Mardi Gras concert lineup was announced. You've got some pretty good names there. You've got Joe Jonas, T-Pain, TLC, who was recently seen in Times Square for the New Year's Eve celebration. And I believe they actually were one of the few that were up on stage with Ryan Seacrest to see the ball drop. I think he only asks a certain amount of people to moment, and two parts of TLC were there. So pretty cool. And so this is this Mardi Gras celebration will go from February 1st to March 20th. And we are always there. We'll be there a minimum of 2 times to share that all with you. And it includes food. The parade is, to me, the major attraction there. It's so much fun. And like Tammy says, there's a lot of glitter in that one. Lots of skin, lots of glitter. And so there's the lineup. I mean, when I look at it, hey, Kool and the Gang is going to be there. How about that? So TLC for me would be the one that would be pretty cool to see. So Mardi Gras is always fun. The food booths don't really. I just think Universal food booths are 50%. Is how do I want to say it? They're like, I don't know. Disney outdoes them by 50%. We'll say that. I just feel like the quality and taste and offerings, they just don't. They lack there. We'll say that.
And apparently I'm performing on the 16th of March. I don't know what I'm performing. Neil, are you in my band on the 16th? What's happening there? I don't know.
What is
Yes.
the 16th?
Apparently I'm performing.
I see the Lawrence band. I know. I'm wondering, is that Lawrence formerly from New York?
I don't know. I
gonna be
never
great.
knew there was.
It's gonna be
never
great.
knew there was an artist named Lawrence. So yeah. And does anybody know that act? I don't know.
I don't even know.
Well,
Neil,
I know it's not Steve. Steve Lawrence is dead, so it can't be him.
No. So we'll find out. Neil, anybody on this list that you will be looking to see?
Well, first I have to put the glasses on. Is there anybody? Well, first of all, I love Kool and the Gang. I actually have a friend who sang with Kool and the Gang and was in a band that I was in for many years. So Kool is a great band. Joe Jonas would be fun. I know that My kids loved the Jonas Brothers when they were younger. Uh, you know what? There's a lot of names here. I mean, look, I don't mind going to see anybody, to be honest with you. If we happen to be standing there, I'll watch.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, I thought LL Cool J was great when we saw him. Mr. Diz. Mr.
Yeah,
Diz,
he's
wait,
quite the
hold on.
performer.
He's got the microphone there. He's got the microphone. He's typing away responses that I can't say anything back to him. I think that Corey enjoys when I'm silenced and I can only use a keyboard. It gives him the advantage. And is Alexander gone already?
Nope, he's right here.
Alexander, man. There's, when Corey is watching, I know you enjoyed Disney, and we enjoyed it with you too. It was great meeting you. Just keep saying "Let's go Mets" over and over again. You can't leave that out.
You're right. I should have said that at the end of every paragraph, probably.
Every word. Hi, let's go
time.
Mets. Corey, let's go Mets. That's what you have to do. Now, I will say, just one more thing, that meeting Alexander was a thrill. I walked up to him and poked him. He had no idea who I was. And he's like, "Who's this guy?" And I go, "I like the Mets. He's wearing this big Mets jersey." And then Lawrence goes, "That's Neil." And he loosened up. He's like, "Who's this guy messing with me?" Man, what is up here? We don't do that stuff. But he's really cool. We had a fun time with all of you. Especially when we could all get together. It was a great time.
Yeah, it was fantastic. I enjoyed meeting you and your family as well. And let's go Mets.
Let's go Mets. There you go. Yeah, the boys, we were lucky, talking about Epcot quickly and how the crowds were and all. Robbie's a cast member, and he couldn't get an Epcot reservation. And he was working that day. The cruise line continues no matter what, and Disney books things no matter what. And he had a reservation. He was working till 8:00. He had to get a reservation at Animal Kingdom. So I think he was done at 8, and then first have to go to Animal Kingdom and then try and get to Lawrence. Oh, okay. And it would have been really late when he got to see us, but a reservation opened up for cast members at Epcot, and he was able to come straight to us. So, and I saw Nanny Pooh Bear was talking about the crowds. I will say this as a person and look, I have no problem with being around people. I'm not afraid of crowds. I'm not afraid of performing in front of people. I just don't like getting banged into. I don't like getting bounced around. That's
Sure.
all I don't like. But it was great on New Year's Eve. It was a magnificent evening, going to find Lawrence and Catherine and Finley and seeing Alexander, on New Year's Eve was spectacular. And I even got a couple of minutes where I had the camera, and was enjoying showing all of you the New Year's Eve festivities that we were watching in France. Or should I say France?
Italy.
France.
Oh, it was Italy. You're right.
Italy.
We
Yeah.
were in Italy. That's right. And the one thing we didn't get to do, we didn't get over to was it China where the flames were?
Mm-hmm.
That was a pretty spectacular area also.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that difficult, Lawrence, correct? To get into the Italy area. We were right by the stage.
Yeah, we were right there. I mean, nobody was in front of it where we were kind of standing off to the side there. Nobody was in front of us, so you could see the DJ clear as day. And if we wanted to stand directly in front of her, we probably could have done that too. I mean, it was fairly easy. Now, China, that was a little harder. I did wiggle my way into China, but and we found a pretty decent spot once we got in there. But China was a little hard to get there, and then Japan, you had a good spot just because of how Japan is shaped. Where he was at that tower, it was easy um, to kind of get a good view of him and the tower and everybody around.
Oh yeah, I was a little disappointed with Japan only because you had lasers in Italy, lasers and crazy lights, and in China you had the flames and lights, and Japan it was just this dude on the pagoda,
Hmm.
and he had like a couple of colorful lights, and that was it. Like they didn't really do up that particular area, so that was a little bit different. He wasn't the like the prime thing, I don't think. Which
Right.
is weird. You would think that every place would be. I know that obviously Japan was the spot
Yeah.
because that's the DJ they play throughout the park.
Right.
But China was a little disappointing. But anyway, sorry to interrupt you, Mr. Corey. So
You know what?
so
You
you're
know what's
we're,
funny? I was reading comments. the other night, and Jacob has said multiple times he loves saying this. There's got to be some truth to this. We just don't know which ones they are. That Disney uses fake DJs, like they pretend they're DJing and they're really not. They're just there for the entertainment. And that one in China responded back to Jacob through comments on the channel and said, "I'm just telling you that I'm the real thing. I'm the real
that
deal."
they were all. I was watching them. I was watching in Italy. I am sorry, Stephanie. And Stephanie, I'm going to come back with an answer tonight for you. The DJs were spinning. I will say they are not the best DJs. As a person in the music business, I heard a lot of things that I was not thrilled with. Lucas, who is an EDM lunatic, electronic dance music, uh, which obviously they're not doing EDM at Epcot. No, that's the next level of disco. They're playing more of pop disco, pop dance music at Epcot, and oldies. A lot of stuff that we heard was 70s and 80s. And then Madonna's thrown in there. It's things that uh, don't kill me. The average person who doesn't get deeper into certain forms of music would listen to more of
Hmm.
top 40, like Casey Kasem, countdown music is what they play. You're not going to get something that's eclectic, at Epcot. Maybe once in a while, but most of the music I recognized, and
Hmm.
and that's unusual considering I am a jazz snob and don't listen to that kind of music. But Corey, you could let Jacob know they were actually mixing. I watched them. I watched I watched them speed the music up and slow it down. I watched the tempos, the interchanging. They definitely were doing it. This was
Okay.
not. Yeah, and they had it. Now Lawrence told us, wasn't there one company that provided all the DJs?
Right. Yeah, it's one production company, and they have all these. Maybe I don't know. Let's just say I saw 12 on their website, and the three that we saw, the silent DJ may even be um, part of from that same company, I would assume, but I'm not 100% sure because I never even went over there to see that DJ.
Sure, I know that. I believe that Sam went over there. Uh,
Hmm.
the only experience I ever had with silent DJ, what were at weddings where they've had it. I actually did one in L.A. and Stevie Wonder put on a concert for these people are very wealthy, and he had a silent concert, so you could watch Stevie Wonder. There were no speakers, no nothing. It was all through the headphones. It's a pretty cool experience
Yeah.
because you don't get blown away if you're a spectator.
Right.
I had earplugs in on New Year's Eve, and seriously, I look Theo. That is Theo the Magnificent for 2025. Everybody, it might say Sam Eagle, but Theo is one heck of a guy. We love Theo. That's pretty funny. Theo, I thought it was already at 1:30 without the glasses. But anyway, so when you're doing the silent thing, you could actually walk over there. Now, I had earplugs in when we were close in Italy, and I'm sorry, Stephanie, we would call it Viva Italia in Italy. I had the earplugs in. If you stood right by the subwoofers for too long, I mean, body parts were shaking.
Oh yeah.
And I'm telling you now, as a musician, if you stand there long enough, your ears will clog and you're losing hearing. There's no doubt about it. So I do give you a warning. If you go into any place with a DJ, wear earplugs or be prepared the next morning to be saying, "What did you say?" when somebody asks you what we're having for breakfast. Be prepared. That's for sure. But no, they were definitely spinning. There's no doubt about it. Now, it's not like the old days. They don't have Technics turntables. It's all computerized.
Yeah.
But no doubt they were mixing. I saw them. I saw them speeding up and slowing down. So you could let Jacob know that this year they were doing their stuff.
So your next mission is to, when you go near the Encanto stage and the DJ's up there, pay attention. Let me know if you think he's really doing his thing.
No, he is. He is. And New Year's Eve, let me tell you something. He was the best DJ there. He had a crowd.
I mean when we're near when we're in Epcot in the new area, that little Encanto stage.
That's what I'm talking about.
He was up there.
They had him.
Oh yeah.
He was there.
Oh no, I mean during regular park hours. During regular park hours.
I will let you know. Look, a lot of it, just so try. A lot of the DJ stuff, the DJs get like they used to do it on discs, but now it's all digital. They buy like sets of music, so they can. You could do it if you had DJ equipment, like to play around with at home. You could do it. You can buy it, and they can let 2 or 3 tunes go, but you could also mix those tunes.
Okay.
So, but I will tell you, New Year's Eve though, I've never seen that many people as in front of Communicore dancing. It was wild. It was a great night for Communicore, and it made me say, this is why they did it. It was perfect. If it could be like that all the time, nobody could say boo about what they did. People were having a ball. Was it alcohol? You never know. It could be the drinks, because plenty of people were online for drinks. Lawrence, did you tell them about the lines to get a drink?
No, and I didn't mention the line for Japan when you were trying to get into. Or was that Saturday? But it was without the food booths for the festivals. All the quick serves were absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing that happens. I wish, obviously, and Alyssa's right. My wife is very smart, smarter than me. She has a 150 IQ. So she said, like I said to her, Disney could be making millions by extending this festival until the next one, But what she said was correct. The college program people went back to school, and now they need 2 weeks to train the new people that came in. They can't run those booths without the college program.
Yeah.
There's hundreds of college students that man those booths. That's who mans them when you go there. It's very rare to see, senior Disney cast members pouring you a beer. It's kids. And they need time to train and change the booths over. So, but boy, when they shut those booths down, the other day we went, it was impossible. The Saturdays, we wanted Japan. We ended up at Theo's place, at Sam Eagles. And don't get me wrong, it was great. But you can't mobile order in Japan.
Yeah.
It's third party. Third party, you can't mobile order. And it was an absolute insanity.
Yeah,
so back to Mardi Gras.
Yeah. Did we finish up the news?
Yeah, so that was that one, and next was Universal opens the Epic Store. Epic Universe Store is now open at MCO Orlando Airport. So you can check that out. It's in level 3 in Terminal B. We also have a Florida resident discount that just started. So if you're visiting the parks between the 13th of this month and May 23rd, you can get a 4-day ticket for $240 plus tax, or you can also add on the park hopper to that. I mean, that's pretty cheap for that's $60 a day if you live in Florida. So that's a pretty good discount. You would have to. Here's my theory. My theory is that you do this to bring in more people during that small time. Now, I posted this earlier on Facebook, and some people were saying, "Yeah, the attendance is down in the parks," and I'm like, "Oh, you must not be visiting the parks because attendance is not down."
No, that's a fallacy. That is an absolute joke.
Yeah.
Today, did you look at wait times today? We
They
looked
were
at wait times today.
They were
The
lower
wait
than they were
times,
when we were there, but that still
yes,
doesn't mean they were 5 and 10 minutes.
Slinky was an hour and a half. Okay, Rise was an hour and 10. The wait times this week are not low.
Yeah.
Part of it could be the incoming folks that are running the marathon in the frigid weather that we're getting here.
Yeah.
You know, I feel bad for the marathoners. It's going to be a chilly weekend,
Yeah.
especially at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
You know,
But
it's starting in Epcot.
they bring this special in so that during the slower, if you can call it that, the slower parts of the year, the parks are still staying at that same level. They know what they're doing. It's the same thing with the hotel discounts. The hotel discounts don't happen during Thanksgiving through Christmas. They happen during the slower parts of the year so that the park stays even. So these people that are taking advantage of the discounts are replacing, those of us that go no matter what. So that's just my theory there on that.
Sure. Well, there's more. You missed, if you're doing that, I don't know if you missed the free food.
I didn't add that one in yet for this week, but
because that does go hand in hand with bringing people back.
That's right.
The hotel stay for what is it, 5 days or more? I don't know what the number is. They are giving the meal plan for free.
Yep. Yeah. So that's a huge discount.
Yes, but you can't use this discount and get the food. So it's a catch-22. So you can't get like say you're a Visa card holder and they're giving you a discount on a room, then you can't get the free food. So it's either you pay the full price for the room,
right,
and get the free food, or you get the discount. And sometimes the discount is better because this is amazing if you're a Florida resident.
Yeah, and you have to, so you've got to weigh each of them and decide, is it worth it for me to give up the hotel discount to get the free food? Or should I stick with the hotel discount? Is that going to be more of a value for me? So you definitely have to do your math there to see if that works. The other thing that I'll mention, and I'll show this next week, is that now, as we're in 2025, there's also a special there's a benefit for staying on property, and that is your first day, you get a water park ticket for free.
If it's not freezing.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that's all good. They're doing this during the height of the winter in Florida. First of all, I believe winter will last approximately a week and a half or so, but it's funny. I believe if it's below, Corey, do you remember, is it below 70 degrees that they close the water parks?
Oh, I actually don't know. That sounds right though. 70, the cold or the air on your wet skin doesn't feel so good at 70 degrees. I know. I tried to swim in Maine in August, so that's what it felt like.
Yeah, they had the water park open. Alyssa and I passed by the other day, but it broke 70. But the day before, it was in the 60s, and it was closed. So I would assume it's around 70 degrees. Now, Natty Pooh Bear, have a good night, and Alexander, I believe Alexander, if you're there, I believe you're a star. The ladies are trying to figure out what team you play on. We'll get it straight right now. If Alexander's playing on a team, it's certainly not the Red Sox. It's the New York Metropolitans.
Yes, he actually has a
sorry.
it's a Mickey jersey that he's wearing. Let me switch cameras there.
This is not a Yankees jersey. I would never do that. This is a Mickey Mouse jersey, which you can buy at the Disney stores. Please get one.
Yes,
there you go. No,
it's at all the stores.
It's Mickey pinstripes. It is not Yankee pinstripes.
So also they are testing a modified single rider for Millennium Falcon. So this will be a 2-person single rider version. It says that it runs down the same path as the standby line, but you'll skip the pre-show with Hondo. As of right now, this is just a test. Not known if this will become permanent or how long it will continue. But it should help the line run quicker. I guess what they found is that more people are using, more people that are going through as a couple, than a single rider. And so it's taking them more to fill 2 single riders on a ride than just having a couple go through. So I guess that's what they're looking at. Hopefully that works. I mean, I could see, Corey using that for him and Jacob, or him and Tammy when they're there on a Saturdays, or Alyssa and Neil, want to speed through the ride rather than waiting 120 minutes. This might be, somewhat significantly faster. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think what they probably found that they were like 2 seats, going unused, right? So why don't we put 2 people in there, because, or 1 seat, right? 1 seat may be going unused and 1 person staying behind, maybe. So let's let 2 people in at once to have a better chance to have a full cockpit, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes, I will be right back. I'm going to mute. I'll be right back.
Got it. And it is Wellness Month at Disney Springs. And so there are multiple itineraries, including discounts at multiple locations. And the discounts will include Homecoming, Everglades Donuts, which is funny because...
Right, that's funny.
Wellness Month.
But there can't be one healthy thing at Everglades Donuts.
Wellness. Let's celebrate Wellness Month. Here's some fried dough, and Splitsville. I'm sure there's others as well. So what have they done this before?
This feels new to me.
Okay.
This feels new. I could be wrong. People can comment. I think this is the first time that we've seen something like this. So that is very cool. Health awareness. Wellness Month.
And so you'll see those Wellness Month signs down on the bottom throughout the park, and kind of gives you little random facts. And as I mentioned, you have a free water park day. This will run through the whole year. Registered guests listed on the hotel are eligible. Water park admission valid on check-in day only. I kind of wish they had done it for your checkout day as well, because that's another day where you can use something like this. If you have a late check or a late flight going home, then you can certainly take advantage of that. And we have an objection.
I object. You're gonna go home stinky. You're going to go home stinky. If it's your last day, you're going home stinky because it was your checkout day. So there's no place to shower with real soap and everything. I
Okay.
mean, they
Okay.
have showers, right? But I don't know.
I
It's more
thought
appealing for the first day.
I thought that I thought the showers had soap and all that. I don't know. I might take
Yeah.
advantage of it, but certainly
All right.
free park day when you get there
Seems
is
like won't
nice.
work.
And
It used to be where even if you checked out, like a lot of people leave their luggage at the hotel until they leave. So you could go back to the hotel and maybe use the showers for your hotel's pool, where you could
Mhm.
bring a little soap and shampoo, and
Good
clean
thought.
yourself up.
Yeah.
I think the
We did that
showers there, they
a little
have
bit
like
better.
a shower curtain and everything, right?
Yeah,
Correct.
yeah,
Yep.
it's a little bit better probably. Yeah, we did that when we stayed at Pop Century, I believe. It was a checkout day, and we enjoyed the pool for a few hours and then showered, and then we were able to leave. Maybe I'm
Uh-huh.
traumatized by Alani. Maybe I'm traumatized by Alani. Do you remember that one? That's a story. We've told that one on stream.
Mm.
Um, I can say this. I'll say it really quick. So we thought the same thing. We were told that there were showers that we could use. Well, guess what? Long story short, there wasn't. There wasn't at Alani. There are
Oh
no
wow.
showers available for you to use on your checkout day. So we enjoyed the beach and everything, and there was nothing. So we were like, what are we gonna
They
do?
didn't
So
they didn't give you a room?
no.
Sometimes they have like
They,
a room that's open.
Yeah. Oh, really? We were told that the spa would have one for us, and they didn't have it. So Jacob and I literally
Wow.
grabbed soap and we tried to shower at the pool. You know, the ones you step in, get the sand off your feet and all that stuff. We tried to like wash up that way, and it didn't seem to work well. We found a restroom and hoped no one came in. We were washing up at the sink, and the last thing I'll say is we ended up we I thought it was good enough. I didn't use deodorant, and we got on the flight. We're talking 8 hours or whatever back home. Then we got back to the MCO airport. We couldn't find our car. It was hot. It's like 100 degrees. We're sweating, and we're driving home. And I lifted my arm back for something for the kids, and
Oh
Tammy goes,
no.
"Whoa, what is that? Put that arm down." Thank you,
Did she
Alani.
say,
Thank you.
did Tammy say, where's the beef?
Oh, probably. And then she dropped her head between her legs, and she didn't wake up until we got home. She passed out.
Very interesting. No, I'm sorry. Just a quick aside. Uh, we, my family was joined on Christmas Eve with a good friend of the channel who you all see and she's in the chat right now. So Shirley joined Alyssa, myself, and my two. Actually, was Lucas here? Yeah, yeah, I think he was. Yes, he was here Christmas Eve. Absolutely. And Tammy's got the stinky face on. Tammy, listen. I told you, if there's one person that I feel bad for, it's you. But anyway, Shirley, thank you for joining us. Shirley joined us Christmas Eve. We all got pictures with Mickey and Minnie and Goofy and Pluto, and we had a wonderful night. So thank you for joining us, Shirley. It was great. And we love seeing all of you in the parks. Don't ever forget that. Just an aside. Tammy, I don't know how you deal with it. So there was no shower. Now Shirley
No.
said shower in the pool. That you can't shower in the pool, Shirley. Come on now.
No, because then you would smell like chlorine. So
Yes.
you don't want to smell like
So
chlorine.
so Tammy is saying all along she had the deodorant with her in her carry-on. Was that a TSA compliant deodorant?
Oh, Tammy's very TSA compliant. She does all the clear liquids and the little bottles. Oh yeah, we just throw everything on the
Ooh.
bed, and she TSAifies it. Oh,
Uh-huh.
Diane Sexton's in chat. Diane Sexton, thank you so much for your card. I picked up all the final cards today. Very sweet. Thank you for the gift card. We will put good use to it. And we're kind of saving our gift cards because if we do Alani in 2026, I think we're going to use those over at Alani. So Thank you.
Lovely. Diane is here. Frank is here. Frank, what's up?
So, Corey, what's on the agenda for this week? Tomorrow is Magic.
Yeah. So the question is Alyssa coming and is Neil coming? Because we're looking at feels like probably 35 tomorrow with the wind tomorrow night. I'm going to try to dress warmly, and we'll see how it goes. We might have to find places to, if it gets cold enough, it'll be a lot of Carousel of Progress and PhilharMagic and things like that. Hey, I bet Tron will be a walk on.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows?
Well, you'll be
But we're
doing
gonna try
that
something
alone.
different. Neil will be proud of me. I have a whole list of healthy lifestyle changes that we're making here, and one of them flows right over to late nights at Magic. There's no more late night shopping or anything. We're gonna finish up and we're walking out. So we got to get to bed a little bit earlier, Neil, on those MK nights for sure too. So
That would be wonderful. I'd be very happy about that. That would make, you know what? For 2025, my resolution would be that Corey should get more sleep and rest. I agree.
That's the goal. And even here at home, we've agreed. Tammy says, I want to see you do this, but we're going to try to get to bed between 10:30 and 10:45. And that should give us a good close to 8, if not 8 hours of sleep. So,
all right. So, folks,
time.
when you come to see us, that's right. When you come to see us in the parks and you join us or join Corey at late night, that means I won't be on the phone with him until 1, 2 o'clock in the morning as he's driving home, because he's going to be sleeping already and be way more enthusiastic and happy than he is now, which could be horrific when he does the next live stream.
Right. And I got
That's
a
good.
decent amount of sleep last night. I'm still not tired, so that's good. Yeah. I'll share my whole list with you later on.
Now there's somebody, and oh my goodness, Lawrence, I told you a lady and her husband came over to see Alyssa and I. We were standing in Hollywood Studios, and I can't remember her name, and I knew I'd forget it, but it was a lovely lady and her husband, and they said to wish you and the family a happy new year. We chose to watch the movies on the shows on the Grumman Theater that night, and Lawrence did Rise, and then he did Tower of Terror. But Alyssa and I actually really enjoyed watching those movies, and Lucas had not seen the second one, the World of Disney one, in a long time, and he loved it. He loved it. So I highly recommend that going out in the frigid to pick Jill up from work. Tammy, just be careful driving. You never know, if you hit a snow pile, how your car is going to react.
Hey, if anyone knows how to drive in the snow, it's Mrs. LID. She has a lot of experience.
Well, we all love Tammy. Tammy is the spine of the Diz family.
We also met a couple LID viewers on New Year's Eve that came up to me when I was in Japan. One of them is actually a cast member or a college program cast member going to be at the front of the front gates of Epcot. So she was very excited to come over and let us know. So I'm sure as you go through Epcot and check in, if she sees you, she will say hello, because she was very excited to come over. She actually saw me a couple times that night. And then somebody else was like, oh, my mom is watching, and came over and said hello to their mom. So very, very nice, like Neil said, to always meet some viewers. And Saturday, you're going to be in Hollywood?
Saturday, we'll be at Hollywood. Nothing special going on there, I guess. We always look for that new snack that may have appeared. So we'll do that. We'll look for that. But other than that, we'll do our typical fun, where we'll get on as many rides as we can. And, it's been a while since we've had that buffalo chicken and cheese sandwich with steak fries.
We had it the other night when we met Lawrence.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lucas had it. Lucas had it.
Will Neil be joining us? I think Shirley will be there.
Alyssa and I are joining you. You're forgetting a very important part about Saturday.
I remember now.
Lily.
You said you will definitely be there because I am going to face off with Lily.
Lily.
For Toy Story Mania if the wait time isn't too badly, and I intend to take her out. No mercy.
You see, you're nasty. Now,
It's all about
now,
competition, baby.
Lawrence, let's talk about quickly your little meetup with Lily. How did you feel about meeting Lily for the first time?
So I actually have met her at Hollywood. She actually gave me the napkin in person.
Oh, that's right. She gave you the napkin.
Yeah. So, but I saw her dad come through, and I was like, oh. And then I saw that she had gone by us, and so then when we got off Figment, we stopped and chatted, and they had me take a picture with her, and she wanted me to.
Oh,
do
it's
a
funny.
video.
She zipped right by you.
Yeah.
And her parents were like, "You miss Lawrence."
Yeah. So that was really cool. And so in the video that I did, I talked about the fact that napkin is always there in every show. It is visible right back there, right there. So yeah, she's always great to meet and spend a little time with. So she's awesome.
Lily and her parents are special people, and you know what? Just watching her react to taking the picture with you, she wanted the photo with you. You know, it's really special. It really is.
Yeah.
Korea, no, I've been on USA. Yes. Okay. Do you have a name from Korea? It's great to see somebody from the other part of the world. But I mean, if you put your name in there, that would be great. Allison A says Team Lily. Allison, I'm sure you and Mom Ann are on Team Lily. And believe me, I will be tripping Corey the whole way, injuring him, hurting him, to make sure that Lily busts his butt.
That should be good. I'll be tuning in. Maybe I'll come up with some graphics for that for Saturday. We'll see. I'll have.
Can you make his glasses not work? Can they darken and
fog them up, maybe?
I'll see, Neil. That's a good idea. Let me see what I can do. Let's see what I can do from here.
Okay.
So yeah,
Shirley,
it should be another fun week. I do have to find stuff for the post show for both of those. So Magic and Hollywood. So I'll be thinking of some stuff there.
Shirley, who is Jessica?
Right. The pre and post show return tomorrow night. You know, all day 4K on Living in Diz, everyone. So make sure you set your settings, and we'll start with Lawrence in the studio. Come out to me in frigid Magic Kingdom, and then we'll send it back for the post show for what is to be determined.
And it's been
Sorry, wear some leg warmers to Stephanie. Stephanie says, wear some leg warmers.
Here's the deal about tomorrow. There's no way Alyssa is coming. There's no way. She already said there's no way I'm going. I am very happy to come, but I am performing Thursday night. And if it's to the point where I think my lips are going to suffer by being out there, I will put stuff on them. I have to then think about it, but I believe I will be there. I do believe I will be there.
Then I feel even more special that
Tammy said, Neil, it's 45.
I feel
Tammy
even
said,
more
Neil, it's 45.
Listen, Tammy, I got you.
That you and I feel even more special that you and Alyssa came out to meet us that time in Epcot, because it was cold that day and you guys came out there. So I appreciate that.
We wouldn't have missed it. We wouldn't have missed it for anything. And I just had a thought, and it just flew out of my head completely. You know what? Oh, here's the thought. We saw Mufasa today at Disney Springs. And we saw it in Dolby Digital. Okay. And
Nice.
it was chilly today. So I had my Disney World, the black one with the white lettering, my Disney World sweatshirt on. And then I had the heavier sweatshirt in the backpack. And when we walked there, it was earlier. The movie was 1:30. The sun was still bright. When we came out, it was a little bit later, and it definitely got cooler. Oh, Shannon, I know it's cold in Massachusetts. I don't even have a winter coat here. But anyway, uh, when we went out, I did put the other sweatshirt on, and we're still not using our oven or our range. We had we ate at Summer Lake, and Corey, I must say, I just had the regular pizza, not the margarita. Excellent. You got to check
Okay.
out the pizza. The regular pizza.
Summer House.
The margarita is really good also. Yep, at Summer House. It's $19.99. Okay. I know you'll guzzle the whole thing down. There's no doubt about it. That's for sure. You will take a whole pie down. It's not like a regular New York pie. It's not one of those 8
Okay.
slices, but you'll definitely enjoy it. And but by the time we got home, it was chilly out. The sun went in, and we might break. Now, Corey lives north of us. I have a feeling going to break 40. He's going to be in the 30s, and he might actually get frost where he lives, based on what I read on the Weather Channel. I am not sure what's going to happen with us, but folks, I will tell you. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, yeah, there's nights where we've left Magic Kingdom or somewhere in Disney, and we're like, wow, tonight was a cold night, and then you get out of the car here at our house, and then you go, whoa, I thought it was cold at Magic. It's colder up here. We're usually colder by like 3 or 4 degrees, I think, usually.
Yep. Florida is a strange place. Like where Lucas is, down south, it's probably not going to go below, if it goes below the 60 point, it'll be shocking. Then my mom is a little bit up from him, about 45 minutes, and she's just a tad cooler, but literally we went from our house to Springs, and it was 2 degrees cooler by us than it was by Springs. But when you start going up north, the weather alerts are coming. They're warning people about their pipes, and plants. We brought all our plants in. All the plants are off the lanai. All the plants are off the porch. I'm not killing my beautiful tropical plants. They're in the garage. And it's a pain in the neck because those pots are huge.
What is your temperature right now?
I'll tell you right now. Hold on.
We're sitting at 42 right now.
I'll give you a temp right now. Let me go to the Weather Channel. Breaking news from the Weather Channel. And we only live, we're 3 miles west of Magic Kingdom. So what is your weather now?
42 and clear.
44.
All right, couple degrees right now.
So I'm wondering, let's see now. Lake Buena Vista, 45.
Okay.
Now, that could be the Disney phenomenon. It could be. It could be because of the lights. Oh, Tammy, the heat has been on. Forget it.
Nope, we still haven't broken. No heat. I've got my Figment sweater on.
Doreen, tell them. Doreen, you're right. You guys need to put the heat on if it's going to get that cold. Sharon's got 54 in South Florida. So we're 10 degrees cooler. It feels like 35 by MCO. Wow.
See, I'm not seeing anything lower than like 44 degrees overnight in the next 2 nights.
I've seen wind chills of 31 and 32. I don't know what you're looking at. It's going to get cold.
Yeah.
Well, for you folks that are getting the temperatures in the 20s, I joke around that we all want you to move here. We would love to have you as neighbors and have you join us in the parks all the time. Just be careful. Yeah, Stephanie, the iguanas are definitely fainting in South Florida. There's no doubt about it. 19 degrees for court on Main Street.
Yeah, I think
Wow.
she's the winner at 19. That's a low. It's
Wow.
30 here in North Carolina.
Chicago.
Yeah, 45 in San Antonio.
And think about it, though. People think of North Carolina as the South.
Wow, that's almost gone.
I looked to see if there was any place I could order it from. I may have a problem. However, a new magnet was announced. And so we'll have to see when that comes out, because that might be my next
New
trip.
pass holder. Yep.
You got to come get it. You can't break tradition.
Nope. We haven't missed one since we became a pass holder, so we'll see.
Yep.
All right, gentlemen. So have we said it all? Have we done it all? Wow, we've really, season 3 is different. That I've never said that in 2
I know.
years on the
It's
show.
really different. How about that?
That's
How about
a Corey
that?
thing.
Yes, I think we have, and then some.
So
And
next,
some more.
Yeah.
Next week will be a preview of the Festival of the Arts at Epcot, which will start on the 17th, if I have that date right. So we're going to preview it a couple days before it starts. Looking forward to that. And then we will talk all about more Disney news and all sorts of fun stuff. So I want to thank my guest, Alexander, my younger brother, for coming on the show and kind of giving us his take on his first trip to Disney. First of many, from what I can tell. We have hooked him in, folks. Just saying.
I'm all the way in.
He's all the way in.
Another one bites the
I'm gonna be living in
dust.
Houston.
All the way in. My aunt Doreen says, make your own popcorn. Yeah, I thought about that. Excuse me, because I'm like, okay, it's M&M's, milk chocolate, white chocolate, and butter popcorn. I got that. So I just got to get the drizzle.
Finley will have fun with that. You can make it with her.
Yes, exactly. So thank you all. If you are watching live, we appreciate it. If you're watching the replay or listening to the replay, we appreciate it. Come on over to Living in Diz. Subscribe to the channel. We have a lot of fun here. Corey takes us out to the parks twice a week. And if you're watching on the DIZPod channel, we appreciate you subscribing there. We're trying to get that channel to 500 subscribers so that we can add in more membership benefits there. So we appreciate you all. Neil, as always, we appreciate everything that you do for this community and this channel and for Corey and myself. So thank you. And great to have you on here tonight.
Well, just so you know, I gained by seeing you guys. It's always good for me. So I'm a happy guy.
I appreciate it. Corey, any last words?
Nope. Season 3 kicked it off with a bang, and let's ride it into an Amaze Diz 2025 with the DIZPod and the Living Diz channel, and let's have the best ever. I can feel it. It's going to happen.
Okay, Lawrence, I believe that your brother has something important on his mind that he needs to say before we go goodbye. Come on, Alexander, give it to me.
We'll give him.
Give it to me.
I wonder what. Make sure you share the link with a friend for the DIZPod. No, just kidding. Let's go, Mets.
There you go. I love you, man.
There it is. Good night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.
Good night. Magic Kingdom.
Good night. Bye-bye.
Where the magic's here to stay.